Hey folks, Big Woodsman here. Today is the last day of the November deer hunt, and I've got some pretty amazing footage to show you, so stay tuned. Let's see what we get into. Hey folks, today is day 2 of the November deer hunt, the controlled hunt. So I'm sitting on the outside of a gravel pit that I've been coming to for a few years. You can hear the machines banging away in the background. So I'm just sitting here, I got my decoy out, and I've just called in a really nice buck. So let's go out and take a look. He's just out here. So I'll show you exactly where we're hunting. So here's my pail. Hidden nicely in the goldenrod. Overlooking this beautiful field. So this is an organic farm, which is why they have these rows of manure. They have to leave it sit to make sure there's no chemicals or anything in it. So here's my decoy, about 25 yards out in front of where I sit. Oh, is that ever a gorgeous deer. Amazing. And I'm sitting right at that dark hole right in the bush. So what do we have here? About 35 yards right from the decoy. Well, it's day 3 of the November deer hunt. We woke up this morning and everything was covered in a nice blanket of white. Beautiful morning. I saw a doe and a fawn come by at about 80 yards out in the cornfield. No shots taken this morning. I didn't hear anybody shooting anything, but couldn't ask for a more beautiful morning. So a friend of mine has asked me if I'd come out and give him a hand hunting. It's almost the end of the November controlled hunt. We got 1 day left. He's seen does and fawns, but he's kind of hoping for a buck. So he asked me, he says, can you come on out and help me hunt this area that we've sort of hunted in the past? We've been out here with a coyote hunt, so I'll put a link to that description in the video if you want to check that video out. So I'm sitting over top of this field and it's surrounded by bush, and he's back up another, I don't know, probably 250, 300 yards on the edge of a cornfield. So I'm sitting down here with the black powder rifle. I can pretty much cover this field. I can glass this entire field and see what's going on. A couple minutes ago, I hear one single shot from up where he is. So I wait a couple minutes, he gives me a text. He says he's got a buck down. So he's asked me to come give him a hand. So let's go see what he's gotten into.
Probably where we should drag him out, I guess. So I was sitting by these 3 trees.
Yeah.
Then I could look down the corn. And when I first got here, the 2 deer I seen, or no, I was by the single tree. So I seen a fawn just right here, and he went in the corn, but that was after. When I was first here, see, this is the fence road, and those deer were over in here somewhere, and they were looking, and I thought, oh, they must have smelt you, and then they went down on the top of that ridge, but just on the other side, so I could just see their backs a little bit and stuff.
No way.
And they went down there. This guy,
I can see him.
You can see him laying right up through here.
I sure can.
So I heard all this crashing there, and he came right up, and he went right through just where that gets pretty thick, through those trees, and then I shot him right here, and he just ran to there and dropped.
No way. That's ridiculous.
And he was just coming up on his own. I didn't grunt or nothing. It's like, hey, he's coming right for me. Yeah, he didn't go far. I think I shot him right in here somewhere.
Wow.
And then he just went to there. That was it. Oh, that was because I'm walking up to him thinking, well, I should put another shell in case he's not dead.
Yeah, for sure. Holy crap.
But lots of blood coming out of him. Nice big heavy rack.
Holy.
Look at that, isn't that beautiful?
Look at the size of that.
Wait for the blood here. Oh, look at that. Beauty heart shot. That's why he didn't go very far. And he did that thing where they jump like that.
Yeah.
But
oh my God, that's gorgeous.
That is a beautiful deer.
That's sure. So a lot of people have asked me, what kind of equipment are you using when you go out deer hunting? And like I said, I switched it up this year. I went to a black powder. So I thought I'd just give you a quick overview of what we were using today. So the first thing to go over is our gun. We picked up a Savage 10ML2. So the ML stands for muzzle loader. This is a second edition, which is the 2. It's a bolt action. So you still load it from the muzzle, but it has a bolt, which is where the primer cap goes on. So primer goes on right at the head of the bolt, and then you close it up. It has a full safety in the rear, and then of course, without the primer cap on the bolt, it gives you a second level of safety for this firearm. So that's our firearm that we used this past hunt. So the powder we were using for our gun is a Hodgson 777 black powder. We find 100 grains works really well within this firearm. It gives it a really nice trajectory. The bullet coefficient is really good with this type of 777 powder. It's one of the recommended loads from the Savage manufacturer. So it's best to stick with the manufacturer's recommendations when doing powder and different types of loads. So this is a 777 Hodgson 777 loose powder. So some of you may be asking yourself, why are you shooting black powder, creating that giant smoke cloud out in front of your gun, when the Savage gun that I just showed you does take modern smokeless powder loads? Very good question. The reason I went with a black powder to get the big full smoke and the dirtiness that comes with it is I wanted the practice. I'm over the next 6 months going to be building a percussion cap muzzleloader rifle from scratch. It's from a kit, so I'm going to be fitting that all together and building it, bluing it right from the ground up. That gun, I really want to be shooting the same load through it as I'll be shooting through this modern rifle. So it's great practice for me in order to understand how to clean it and everything for the new gun that I'm going to be building and hopefully test piloting next fall. So the next thing I want to go over is our primer cap. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. This is a 209 primer, which is the same primer they use when they rebuild shotgun shells. So when you reload shotgun shells, you have a 209 primer. It's a high, hot firing primer. Works really well for this firearm. So that is the primer that I'm using. It's a 209. And I couple that with a 250 grain Hornady SST hollow polymer tipped bullet. And I find that polymer tipped bullet and 250 grain with 100 grains of loose powder is a really good bullet coefficient for that gun. Pair that with a saboted jacket, and now you have your 50 caliber bullet. The actual bullet itself is .452. When you add on the sabot jacket, you now get 50 caliber, which is what this gun requires. I'll be using this same round in this new gun that I'll be producing shortly. So there you have it. There's all the pieces that we have. Our gun, our powder, our bullets, and the primers. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of information. And hopefully you've enjoyed this. And if you get the chance to try black powder, give it a try. It's a lot of fun. So there you have it, folks. We've had an amazing hunt. This November shotgun hunt's been absolutely incredible. I got a really nice buck. Pretty pleased with it. The black powder worked perfectly. You saw the recap footage that just sort of all the equipment we used, and my friend got an absolute trophy. So pretty incredible. I'm going to hopefully be able to score that for him, so I might video that for you guys. So stay tuned for that video, and I'll show you how to score a set of antlers. So remember, there's life out there in the woods. I'll see you out there in it.